This horrible incident was reported to happen on the September 1st, 2016 at around 3 p.m. in the afternoon at the Mogadishu barracks, Abuja. I guess this is where this happened. But for it to come up at exactly September 2022, which is to say 6 years later, it happened that this particular person, the perpetrator of this crime, Douglas Tamunokopo, which happened to be the defendant, happened to have allegedly killed his girlfriend who was pregnant for him, but went behind him to go and commit abortion. So it happened that this case happened 6 years ago, and right now it is back in the court, whereby it is being examined, reassessed in the court. And actually the Justice Ab0rtion happened to adjourn the matter till September 26, 2022. So I will have to give a background of this story, okay, because right in all of the report on the story, it hasn't stated if the perpetrator of this alleged crime is an ordinary person or a military. It wasn't stated, but it can be inferred from the story, because as was said in the court by the IPO, Inspector Thomas Zephaniah, who led in the evidence, said that on September 1st, 2016, while he was on duty, he received a distress call from Mogadishu barracks that there is an incident that someone who happened to have been killed by, it wasn't said, if it is from a barracks, which happened to be a naval barracks, okay, it's a naval base. And when he said when they got there, he mobilized a team of police officers, and when they got there, it happened that the man is already in the custody of the naval base, and they couldn't have access to the man, which they promised them that once they finish with their own investigation, they are going to hand him over if found guilty. They didn't say found guilty, but they're going to hand him over for further investigation. And I think it was after a day or so that they said he was handed over to them for proper investigation. And part of the investigation was that there was this young lady. The young lady's name is Abigail, whom he happened to be in a heated argument with on the said September 1st, 2016. And he happened to, after a while, he left the home, and the neighbors were expecting that probably Abigail is going to come out of the room, but Abigail didn't come out. So they suspected that if there is a heated argument, probably something terrible could have happened. So they happened to break into the room, and what they discover was very horrible. They discover that the lady was being tied to a rope around her neck, and that rope is being tied to a nail on the wall. And it happened that the only possible person that could have done this is Tamunokopo, who happened to be, I suspect, a naval or military person, because for someone like that to have a room or an apartment in a naval barracks, and when the police came to want to arrest him, it happened that they couldn't release him to them until after a day or two. So what really happened, as I said earlier, is that this girlfriend of his happened to find out that Douglas has a wife with 2 children in River State, but at the same time he's going out with her and probably even promised her hand in marriage. So when she found out she couldn't keep the pregnancy, and so she went behind him to remove the pregnancy, and after which he now revealed to him, and this really made Douglas really angry, which he now happened to do what he did, and he left the room, leaving Abigail strangled, as it was reported, as stated in the court, on the chair with the rope round her neck tied to a nail on the wall. We're so glad that they're making headway. If this happened in 2016 and 6 years later, we are still at the junction of this case being adjourned for cross-examination, and which is going to be September 26, 2022. We hope they come to a conclusion and for justice to really be given to Udo Abigail, because this seems not to be a case of suicide. What could have made her to commit suicide, as the eyewitness revealed that it was just an heated argument, which afterwards they broke into the room of Douglas and they discovered Udo Abigail dead before calling the police. So what is your intake? Is he a military person? If he's not a military person, why is the Navy refusing to release him to the police that day that they were called to come to the barracks when the incident happened there? Okay, so, and what has led to the delay for 6 years? Because it wasn't in the report that probably they've been coming to the court cases for a while. I hope other questions are raised, and if you have any, kindly leave them in the comment section below. I will be glad to read them, and I'm sure that others will also like to contribute when they read your own comment. Feel free to add if you know more about this case. Probably you happen to be somebody that's close to any of the affected families. We'll be glad to hear, because it is not so many things are not stated here, so many questions are asked, which I will also expect in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and do always give our video a like. See you some other time. Take care and bye for now.